I mean, before we get to the Bengals, we talk about a guy like Jake Locker. Two guys. First is Jake Locker. There's a lot of talk about where he may go. He had his pro day recently up in the Seattle area. I know you're familiar with that area. Where do you see him in the NFL? You think he can make the conversion? He's been an athletic quarterback, very inaccurate this past year. Do you see him still as a first rounder, or you see him slipping into the second?
I personally don't. Let's put it like this. I've viewed Jake Locker since he was a freshman at the University of Washington. Obviously, I was in Seattle when he came in and was anointed to be Tim Tebow of the West Coast. Even when he was a freshman, we had arguments about was he going to ever become what Tim Tebow was in our own draft rooms because the guy's in our city. That being said, he hasn't played like a first rounder in his career, I don't think. Does he have all the tools and all the special talent in the world? Absolutely. He's a big, strong guy. He's fast. He can run. He can throw the ball hard. He's a baseball player who threw well in the 90s when he's on the mound. The guy's a super athlete. That being said, is he a super quarterback? When I look at Jake Locker, I haven't seen a guy that actually makes a difference for his team. People say, well, he played at Washington. They don't have a lot of good players. Well, guess what? Ben Roethlisberger played at University of Miami, Ohio, and he played with his top receiver was 5'7" Mike Larkin, who wasn't, an NFL player. And Ben Roethlisberger did just fine, leading this team to a 10-1 record, almost upsetting, number 15 Iowa in the process. So this Jake Locker guy is, he's a flavor of the month for some teams. I don't think that he'll leave the first round. I think somewhere around 8 to Tennessee. Somewhere in that mid to first round range, he'll be taken. I don't think that anyone's seen him be a first rounder on the field, but his intangibles is pushing it. Here's a guy who's all about football. He says all the right things. He is polished. So you have to say, hey, this guy may have a chance. But my problem with Jake Locker is this. He's been a 4-year starter, and you like to have a 4-year starter as a quarterback coming into the league. Matt Ryan was a 4-year starter. It was great. The guys develop. They get to see the game a lot more. Also, Steve Sarkisian, his quarterback coach and head coach, is one of the best tutors and mentors of quarterbacks in the whole country at the college level. He's been coached by professional coaching, or at least the best coaching college offers, for 2 years straight. And this guy still hasn't developed into what you would hope he would be. He makes, late reads. He's late on some throws and his timing. His accuracy's, up and down. The guy just hasn't been there, hasn't played to that level. And he's been coached and groomed and had every opportunity to get to that level. Also, early in his career, the guy missed, almost 2 seasons full of injury. So, you don't hear about the injury bug with him, or is he durable now? But if you go back to his first 2 years at Washington, he almost sat out 2 whole years because of injury. So, there's a lot of intrigue to the guy because he has all these big tools and intangibles, but the guy just hasn't put it all together yet on the field. If he gets on the team, obviously you know what you get, a guy that's going to study hard. He's going to be the first one in, last one to leave. He's going to do everything you want a quarterback to do. It's just the point is he going to ever see it, and is he a championship caliber quarterback? And at the moment, I don't see it.
All right, quickly, and if I have 10 seconds or less, who would you say is better, Jake Locker or Tim Tebow?
I guess you would say as a college player, Tim Tebow, because he proved it. He won the Heisman.
Pro prospect.
Well, Jake Locker has more intangibles and more tools, meaning that he doesn't have to fix his throwing motion and all that type of stuff. But I still go Tebow.
Yeah. Okay. All right. This on players. Just say if you, because I know what happened with you guys in Seattle. Just say if you have a player in your mind that you're going to take. How late in the process will you change your mind? Like, say if you were going to take Andre Smith, you're the Bengals, the day before the draft.
You can change your mind at any point.
What changes your mind? Like, if everybody in the room is set and they say, this is our guy. I don't know if you want to share what happened in Seattle or not, but, you say, this is my guy. Wake up the next morning, you know what? This is our guy. I mean,
Absolutely. There was a situation where I was in a draft room, and a guy from my area was going to be our guy. I won't get into specific names or talents. he was going to be the 4th pick in the draft. And the day before the draft, they were set on it. You always got a moment to change because the draft's the next day. I mean, you can change the minute before the draft if you have enough compelling information to say you shouldn't. Well, this particular guy, he came up on a visit. He didn't show well on his visit, and it started to fall in place with what I was saying in the personal side of his report about him being maybe a little bit immature, and maybe he had a big bust factor to him because he wasn't fully a developed player who hadn't started a lot of games. In the last minute, they changed their mind and didn't take the guy. The guy went to another team, still in the top 15 picks, but he still hasn't developed. So you know what? There's always time to change. Even if you're looking at Andre Smith or you're looking at Percy Harvin, up into the wire, there's always conversation about who you should take because everyone has an opinion. Coaches have an opinion. Every scout has an opinion. A general manager has an opinion. There's always time to make a change.